Hey there, this is Liberal Arts Math A, Unit 1, um, going over function notation. So we have domain and range. Domain is the x values, or left and right, and range is the y values, or up and down. So if I were to draw a graph, pretend that's straight. um, well, actually, I could just do it on Desmos. Let me show you that. F of x equals x plus 5. So if let me clear this. Hold on. And let me clear my drawing. So y equals, f of x is y equals x plus 5. So if I do y equals x plus 5, I have a graph, okay? And it says in our problem that the range, which is the y values, is between 7 and 9. So I'm going to do y is greater than 7. Is greater than 7. Oops. Greater than 7. Okay, so between is, how about I do 7 is less than y is less than 9. There we go. So I'm just looking at the line in between here and here. So between 7 and 9, this green area is the range. So the domain is going to be between 2 and 4. So 2 and 4, answer A is the answer. Okay, so the function f of x is just y, equals 2x squared plus 3x plus 5 when evaluated gives a value of 19. What is the function's input value? So what number out of the answer choices when we plug it in gives us 19? Well, there's two ways to do this. I'm going to show you 2x squared plus 3x plus 5. So if I do y equals 2x squared plus 3x plus 5, you see I have a parabola and it opens up, 2x squared plus 3x plus 5. And I'm going to look at where it crosses the number 19. So I could zoom out. Here's 20, so 19 is just below it. So at 219, or at like negative 3.5 19. So this is one way to solve this problem. At 219 is a point on the graph. Another way to solve this problem is to plug in the numbers. So if I were to plug in 2 for x, let me get my pen. For some reason, it's not drawing. Hold on just a second. Make sure okay. So 2 times, I'm plugging in 2 for x, 2 times 2 squared plus 3 times 2 plus 5. So 2 squared is 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 5. 6 and 5 is 11 plus 8 is 19, which is what we wanted to get. So the answer would be 2. So you could solve this by plugging in the numbers, or you could solve it by using a graph. Okay, Roy drives a sedan that gets mileage of 30 miles per gallon. If fuel consumption is represented by G, that's gallon, and mileage by M, miles per gallon, which function represents the relationships between miles and gallons? So if we look at the answer, miles equals the function of gallons equals 30 times gallons. So anytime you have per gallon, that's why this is multiplied here. Per is multiplication. Okay, so here we have range again. I'm not going to go over this because I already went over one like this. Eva makes a few dozen cupcakes, $8 a dozen. So cupcakes times 8, you're multiplying. Okay, this one is different. All right, a function with the domain 2, 3, 4 has a specific range. So we're looking at the x values between 2, 3, and 4. Determine the function and its range. A function with the domain 2, 3, 4 is which one of these? And its range, you would, once you figure out what the function is, then you can plug in the numbers and get the range. So if we look at the function 3x plus 2, and then we could plug in 2 for x. So if I plugged in 2 for x, 3 times 2 plus 2, so 6 plus 2 is 8. And then if I plugged in 3 for x, so 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11. And then if I plugged in 4 for x, 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14. So that's how you get the numbers over here. And if we were to look at this 268 was the other one. So if I were to do like x plus 1, if I were to try the x plus 1 and plug in 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 1 is 5, 3, 4, 5 does not match the answer choice in the other drop down. So that's how I knew it was the other function. Okay, I'm just trying to cover problems that are different from one another, so you have a good idea of how to solve these. Which function represents the number of seconds in D days? Hint, the number of seconds in a day is 24 times 60 times 60 equals 86,400. So you would multiply that many number of seconds, the 86,400 times D. Okay, and then dragging each tile to the correct box. And we have a function up here, 4g plus 6. So if you plug in 2 for g, 2 times 4 is 8 plus 6 is 14. The input for the function when the output is 18. So for that one, you would set it up as 18 equals 4g plus 6, and then solve for g. An input and its corresponding output, you're looking for a point. And the absolute difference of the input and the output when the input is 6. So if you plug in 6, 4 times 6 plus 6, and then you get your output, and then you can subtract. So match the range of the function to its domain. Remember that domain is left and right, like the x values, and the range is up and down, the y values. So here we have x values. These are the x values, and these are going to be the y values. So you're basically plugging in your x value, like 2 squared plus 2 times 2 minus 1. So for I think I have this backwards. Match the range. Yeah, I do have these backwards. So this should be the range, and this should be the domain. So if you have y is 2, then it would be 2 equals x squared plus 2x minus 1. So I would head over to Desmos, x squared plus 2x minus 1. Let me clear. Oh, I forgot what it was already. X squared plus 2x minus 1. Okay, so it graphed it for us, and I can reposition and move it around. And then all I would need to do is like, okay, so when y is 2, x could be 1 or negative 3. So here we have negative 3. And where y is 14, so if I go up to 14, x could be 3 or negative 5. So 3 is the answer. And then where y is 7, that would be 5, 6, 7. So x could be 2 or negative 4. And the answer was 2. And then where y is negative 1, let me look down here. Where y is negative 1, x could be 0 or x could be 2. I'm trying to get it right on the dot. There you go. Okay, so negative 2. So that covers function notation for liberal arts math A, unit 1.